solid 3.5% comeback that we saw yesterday. So that's something which doesn't really give you any reason to complain. But Tarun Garg, COO of Hyundai Motor India, joins in on the show. A lot of talking points. They've got an upcoming IPO as well, which we'll of course not talk about. But let's talk about the India landscape right now, the demographics, and how Hyundai Motor is actually placed there. Tarun, hi, good morning. Great to have you on ET Now, and thanks for joining in earlier than your, than the fixed up timing. Tarun, tell me, how is it that you're looking at the India demographic right now? I mean, it's just all about cars and new launches all the time. So many EVs coming up. So much infrastructure coming up, and yet it's falling short to accommodate the number of cars out there. How are you feeling right now about where Hyundai is positioned amidst the entire bunch?
So good morning, and I'm happy to be here. Yeah, you're right. In fact, I'm feeling very happy because very clearly, if you see the Indian demographic is only getting younger by the day and also getting more aspirational, which means that people are wanting more and more features, people are wanting more safety. When I even look at my Hyundai portfolio, not only there's a great shift towards SUV, but I can see that the average age of a Hyundai buyer is coming down. In fact, it has come down by almost 4 years, in the last 4 years. So that is very good. The other good thing about the Indian demographic is that still the number of first-time buyers, at least coming to Hyundai, is only going up. In fact, it has gone up from 32% in 2020 to 38% now. The first time buyer as well. So I think these buyers are aspirational. They do not want to compromise on anything, and they want everything in their car. So which is very good. So it is not only about the numbers growth. I think even we will see that in terms of value, the Indian automobile industry is really showing very, very good growth.
Right. So, Tarun, to try and capture this growing demand, and like you're saying that the age group of affordability also has been reducing with income levels going higher and aspirations as well, if I may say that. Tell me, what's the current capacity that you're running at right now, and how much are you going to up it by, say, in the next three years to come to try and cater to this growing demand?
So if you see in July last year, we had increased our capacity at our Chennai plant by 50,000. So currently we are at about 820,000. As you know that we have acquired the Talegaon plant, and with that the capacity in the midterm will be closer to 1 million. So I think that's something very, very good. And I believe that capacity will help us to really cater to this increasing demand which we are witnessing in India right now. So I think we are very well placed as far as capacity is concerned. And the other good thing is that we have a very healthy mix of domestic and export, about 80% domestic and 20% exports. This gives us a lot of flexibility. This gives us a lot of leverage. This gives us automatic foreign exchange hedging. So I think Hyundai is very, very well placed in terms of capacity utilization also, so that we are just at about optimum capacity rather than, excess or under capacity.
Right. Morning, Mr. Garg. And you've got SUVs as well. That continues to remain the darling when it comes to consumer preference, it seems. How are you looking at the industry-wise growth of SUVs, and what is it in terms of percentage of contribution to your total sales? How is that number growing?
Look, if you see the SUVs, obviously, and with all humility, I would say that probably Hyundai has been one player who has led the SUV revolution in India. You would remember that when we launched the Creta in 2015, the SUV penetration was only 13%. But now it stands for the industry at a very healthy 52%. As far as Hyundai is concerned, of course, we are at 67% SUV contribution, which is very, very good. Last year, we ended with 60. We had promised the industry that we'll be at 65, but we are doing a little bit better at 67. The best part is that all the SUVs are doing well. Creta is showing a double-digit growth. Venue, the Exter has received a great response. So we are really, really very, very encouraged by it. The other very good thing about SUVs is that the rural demand also is as healthy as the urban demand. So if I see the rural contribution of SUVs in the Hyundai portfolio, that is also 67%, which is something of a surprise. I've been in the industry for 30 years, and we had always imagined that the rural customers would prefer smaller cars, but their also aspirations are taking over. And also the second thing is that because the infrastructure has really improved, and also the dissemination of information has really improved, the aspirations of the rural customers are also shifting them towards SUVs.
Right. The other thing, Tarun, I wanted to ask about is where is it that you see your premium mix, or rather, your product mix shaping up in, say, the next 2 to 3 years? And how much of it would be the premium end of cars?
Look, I think premiumization is something which we have worked on as a strategy, and it has really given us very good returns. When I say premiumization, what I also mean is that some really revolutionary features. For example, I talk about ADAS. Today, would you believe it that 7 out of the 13 models from Hyundai, or we offer ADAS as an option. And in these 7 models, the ADAS contribution is already at a staggering 30%. Now, this is something which is very unique, because ADAS as an option is not really offered by too many market manufacturers. So this is the kind of acceptance we are receiving. The sunroof penetration I talked about, it is going through the roof. Connectivity is really improving. The high-end car penetration is now stand at 22%. Automatic penetration stand at 25%. I think all these is reflected, in this aspirational customer who is wanting more and more value rather than the price. I think this is a big change which has happened in India, that the Indian customer wants more value. He wants more global features, but localized to his needs of India. For example, when we introduced the ADAS in India, we tested it in Indian conditions. So I think that has been the success of Hyundai, and we will continue on this path, because we really want to be a part of this new India, which is as much Bharat as much India, because rural or urban, this premiumization is being felt across.
Absolutely. So give me some color, and what are the upcoming product launches? What's the EV mix going to be like, and hybrids? Because, that seems to be the new flavor.
So, as you know that we have always been ahead of the curve in terms of model launches. This year also, we launched the Creta, which has really received a great response. We are averaging about 15,000 a month, and a growth of 10% on an already high last year base, which had a 12% growth. The N line was launched. So I think new models, new technologies, you can always look at Hyundai. Going forward, we have a very strong EV plan as well. As you know, we are working on localization of battery packs. And also, our parent company HMC has announced a tie-up with Excite for cells as well, which will help us to really bring the cost down going forward. We have already announced a high volume EV in early 25. Going forward, we are looking at 5 new EVs by 2030. So I think the plan looks in place. As far as hybrids go, as you know, that we have access to all technologies. In fact, HMC is doing so well in hybrid as well in Europe and US. At the same time, the strategy for every country depends on what does the customer want, what does the government want. It seems that in India, going forward, probably BEV is the right way, and that is where we are focusing as of now. In the future, if we feel that there is a need, I'm sure we can bring hybrids as well. But as of now, we are focusing on BEVs, because that appears to be the way forward.
Okay, that's interesting. And what is the outlook then in terms of the overall global sales? That's crossed 15% for the first time. Any commentary as to how that's likely to trend?
So I'm very proud that Hyundai Motor India's contribution to HMC is going up. I think this is also reflected in India's growing influence in the world pecking order. We are already the 5th biggest economy. and looking forward to becoming the third biggest economy in the next 2-3 years. So I think that is reflected in the automobile sales and of course in Hyundai Motor India's performance as well. The Talegaon plant will really give us more muscle to really do even better. So yeah, things are looking good. Overall industry, of course, as we had informed earlier, that last 2 years of high growth means that we are sitting on a quite high base. So probably this year could see a low single digit kind of a growth, which is okay because still the CAGR, if we see of 5 years or even for 10 years, hovers around 4.5 to 5.5%. So I think we are in good space overall in the midterm as far as India is concerned, and there is definitely a huge potential going forward considering the demographics and psychographics of the young Indian population.
And what is the outlook then when it comes to the recent MOU with Exide Energy Solutions for the local production of batteries? How is that going to help to increase the localization levels?
So yes, of course, as you would have already read the press release. I do not have much to add, but obviously localization means that the cars become more affordable, and that is the whole idea to increase the reach. Because once we have more affordable EVs, then I'm sure we will be able to increase the penetration. Currently, the EV penetration in India is about 2.5%. We believe there is a lot of upside to it, and once Hyundai and some of the other bigger players come with the force in EVs, I think we will see a big trajectory as far as EV growth is concerned.
Right. Okay, Tarun, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining in, and good luck for your upcoming IPO.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. No comments on the IPO, but thank you very much.
I'm just wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Good recovery.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.